My stepbrother and I used to live alone. Ryan loved me so much. When I got married, I took him with me to my new home. Every night he would make hot chocolate for my husband and me. We would sleep soundly afterward. When we woke up in the morning, there was no one beside me except my husband. I never realized that some relationships never let go. Sometimes love becomes torture. A woman might think she is smart and intelligent, but men often deceive her. The betrayal I experienced killed me while I was still alive. The first thing I heard when I left my house was people gossiping about the bride taking her brother to her in-law's house as part of her baggage. I heard them talking, but remained silent because Ryan was all I had. We were just two siblings. Our parents died in a car crash while on a vacation. Ryan was much younger than me. Our apartment was rented, so I took a job to support us. That is where I met Jason. He worked with me at the same company. He started liking me, and when he proposed marriage, I clearly stated that I could not leave my younger brother alone. Jason understood my situation and had no objection. He also lived alone since his parents and older brother lived in another state, so I agreed to marry Jason. Jason put a ring on my finger during a romantic candlelight dinner. I was very happy because Jason was handsome, had a good position at work, and had a pleasant temperament. When Jason dropped me home in his car, Ryan was standing at the door, worried about me because it was already 10 p.m. When Ryan saw me getting out of Jason's car, he became upset. Perhaps because I had not told him about Jason yet. When I came inside, my 17-year-old brother started questioning me about who Jason was. I explained everything and showed him the engagement ring. He looked at me angrily and said, "I do not like this guy. Just wait and see. He will separate us." But I reassured him. Jason is not like that. He is very nice. Do not worry. I have told him that you will stay with me. After the wedding, I brought Ryan to live with us. My in-laws returned to their home a few days after the wedding. Jason and I both went back to work, and Ryan continued his studies at the local high school. I kept my job even after marriage because I did not want Jason to bear my brother's expenses. Ryan was very dear to me. He took care of me as much as I took care of him. I noticed that Jason's attitude toward my brother was just polite but not warm. Since Jason and I worked at the same company, we would return home together. I would cook dinner in the evening for Ryan to eat when he came back from school. But something seemed to bother Jason. Whenever we got home, Ryan would have so much to tell me. This was normal for us. Before my marriage, he would be alone all day. And when I returned from work, he would talk a lot with me. I was everything to Ryan. His mother, father, and sister. That is why he loved me so deeply. When Jason was with me at work, everything seemed fine. But at home, his mood would change when he saw Ryan. When we arrived home, Ryan would heat up dinner for us and make coffee afterward. But Jason rarely responded to him. Initially, Ryan tried hard to befriend Jason, but seeing Jason's attitude, he became hesitant to talk to him. I always made time for my brother. I would prepare meals for the next day, and during that time, Ryan would help me and tell me about his day at school. I enjoyed these moments, but Jason would stay in his room. By the time I finished all the household chores and went to our bedroom, Jason would be in a bad mood. I would be tired from the day's work and just lie down to rest. Jason would just be on his laptop, not saying much. This continued for several weeks until one night when I was in my room with Jason, and Ryan knocked on our door so loudly that it startled me. Jason also sat up abruptly. When I quickly opened the door, Ryan was trembling. His face was covered in sweat, and he looked terrified, as if something horrifying had happened. As soon as he came inside, he hugged me tightly and said, "Emily, I saw a shadow in my room. I am so scared. It will kill me. Please stay with me tonight." He had been afraid of shadows since childhood. I do not know why, but shadows terrified him. When our parents were alive, he would sleep with our mother. After they passed away, his fear intensified, and he would sleep holding my hand. I started comforting him, saying, "Ryan, you are grown up now. Be brave." I was trying to make him understand that Jason was with me now. For some reason, Jason was glaring at us angrily. Ryan moved away from me but begged me to sit with him until he fell asleep, promising I could return to my room afterward. I went to his room and sat with him. He fell asleep holding my hand after about an hour. When I returned to my room, Jason was smoking a cigarette. The ashtray was filled with cigarette butts. He looked at me and said, "What kind of behavior is this from your brother? Did he just hug you? He is not a child anymore. He has no manners or respect." I was shocked to hear Jason's words, but still tried to explain. "He has been scared since our parents' sudden death. He is my younger brother, Jason. What has happened to you?" But Jason was unmoved. He said, "I know he is your brother, but he is not a kid anymore. From now on, I do not want to see him so close to you." Jason was very angry with me. He went to bed and lay down. I was disappointed by his thinking. Ryan would always be like a child to me. He had experienced such trauma at a young age. How could I abandon him? After that, Jason would stare at Ryan all the time. Whenever Ryan talked to me, Jason would look at me with angry eyes. One day, Jason said to me, "Arrange for your brother to live in a dormitory." I was shocked and replied, "Ryan is my younger brother. How could I send him to a dormitory?" Jason responded, "He is in high school, not a child. Many boys live in dormitories. What is the problem with Ryan staying in one?" I said, "I am his everything. Do you want to separate us?" I looked at Jason, pleadingly. He said, "The problem is that you belong to him. I did not marry you to be unable to spend time with my wife. I did not want you to work because I can support you financially. But you work for your brother's sake. After coming home, tired from the office, I need you too. I want to talk with you, spend time with you. But your brother does not leave you alone. I sit by myself in our room until late. Why, Emily? Did I marry you so we could not even spend 2 hours together?" I could not find Jason's words completely. Wrong. Obviously, I should have given him more time. He loved me and took care of me. Often at work, he would help me with my tasks, saying, "I will do it. Do not worry." Since our marriage, we had not spent enough quality time together. But it was also true that I could not deprive Ryan of my love. I could not send him away. It might have caused him severe emotional distress. So I told Jason that I would not send Ryan to a dormitory, but promised, "I will not give you reason to complain from tomorrow." He did not respond. The next day, as soon as I got home, I went to our room after dinner. I was worried about Jason's mood. Seeing me in the room earlier than usual, he smiled. He seemed completely fine today and talked with me a lot. Then he suggested, "Let us go out for ice cream." I got ready, but when I left the room, Ryan was just sitting alone. He did not even look at me. He had been waiting for me all day, but I felt helpless. I avoided him, yet I felt terrible about it. Jason was happy, but I was not. I kept thinking there would have been no harm in bringing Ryan along. He loved ice cream too. I forced myself to smile with Jason, though I was not in the mood at all. Before going home, I bought Ryan's favorite ice cream flavor. When I offered it to him at home, he said, "I am not in the mood now," and went to his room. My heart broke seeing my brother's sad face. I felt restless even in Jason's company. Now Jason would not let me spend time with Ryan. Whenever I started talking with Ryan, Jason would call for me. He kept me busy with his tasks. Ryan became quieter. He stopped talking to me and would just look at me with eyes full of unspoken complaints. I thought about how helpless a woman becomes after marriage. To build a life with a man, she often has to sacrifice her family relationships. My entire family consisted of just one brother, and even he could not get along with Jason. Sometimes, looking at Ryan's sad face, I felt that by marrying, I had done an injustice to my brother. One day when we came home from work, Ryan said, "We are out of sugar. I will go get some for coffee." He went to buy sugar. Meanwhile, I heated dinner and started eating with Jason. Jason usually bought groceries for the entire month at once. He said to me, "How could a month's supply of sugar run out so quickly? You do not even bake regularly." I responded sharply, "So is Ryan lying?" My tone was strict because of Jason's behavior toward my beloved brother. He replied, "When did I say he is lying? But maybe he did not see the sugar where you keep the kitchen supplies." After hearing Jason, I left my food and went to the kitchen. When I checked the grocery cabinets, there really was no sugar. I showed the empty container to Jason and said, "My brother is not a liar." He responded, "Why are you overreacting, Emily?" He also started speaking angrily. I said, "Because you always act this way with my brother." He stayed silent for a moment, then said, "Fine, I will not say anything to him. Do whatever you want." Saying this, he also left his dinner and went to our room. Ryan returned with sugar and made 2 cups of coffee, giving one to me. He took his cup and went back to his room. I brought the coffee to our bedroom and apologized to Jason. I loved Jason deeply. I could not bear to see him angry, nor could I stand seeing my brother sad. However, shortly after Jason and I drank the coffee, we both started feeling unusually drowsy. I fell into such a deep sleep that I did not wake until morning. I was surprised at sleeping so late. I had not even prepared breakfast, and now we were running late for work. Jason was in the same condition. As we hurriedly got ready and were about to leave, Ryan was already dressed for school. But when I looked in the kitchen, I nearly fainted. Everything was in disarray. The grocery containers had fallen over. A month's worth of food was ruined. Flour, rice, beans, all scattered on the floor, and there was household cleaner spilled over them. Jason was upset seeing this. He asked, "Who did all this? All these groceries cost hundreds of dollars." I do not know why he was looking at Ryan, who seemed just as surprised by the mess. Ryan said, "I felt so sleepy last night that I just woke up. I think a raccoon might have gotten in. They sometimes come through the kitchen window." Jason looked at the clock and said to me, "Do not go to work today. The kitchen is a disaster. You clean it up. I will talk to the boss." I agreed this was necessary since the kitchen was in terrible condition. As soon as Jason left, Ryan said, "Emily, I will skip school today. Let us spend time together." I gave him a hard look and asked, "Did you do this, Ryan?" He seemed hurt by my question. I thought maybe he did this because Jason never let him spend time with me, but he said, "No, Emily, really. I have no idea what happened." Ryan helped me clean the kitchen. Then he cooked lunch. I made his favorite pasta. We talked a lot that day. When Jason came home that evening, he brought new groceries and handed them to me. Then this pattern started repeating every day. Ryan would make coffee for us, and after drinking it, we would feel extremely sleepy. Although he drank the same coffee, when we woke up in the morning, household items would be scattered around. Jason thought Ryan was doing this deliberately. But Ryan would look at me with teary eyes and say, "Emily, I really did not do this. I slept deeply last night." Jason put the new sugar he bought in a different place, but then something happened that changed everything for me. After dinner one night, when Ryan got up to make coffee, Jason stopped him. He said, "Emily, you make the coffee today. I want to drink coffee made by you." I went to the kitchen, made the coffee, and placed the cups on the dining table. Jason was staring at Ryan angrily for some reason. This time, Ryan was also looking at me with angry eyes. I thought maybe something had happened between them. Ryan looked at me, stood up, and went to his room. Jason drank his coffee with apparent satisfaction. I asked him if something had happened between him and Ryan. He denied it, saying, "Why would I say anything to him?" But the next day, I saw Ryan leaving his room with his backpack packed. I became worried and asked where he was going so early. He said, "I will not stay here anymore. I am going somewhere else." Hearing this, I looked at Jason. He avoided my gaze. I said firmly, "You are not going anywhere, Ryan. If you leave, I will not stay here either." Hearing this, Jason looked at me in surprise. He approached me and said, "You are not going anywhere. He can go wherever he wants." I responded, "Absolutely not, Jason. If there is no place for my brother in your home, then I will not stay here either." Jason insisted he had not asked Ryan to leave. Ryan pleaded, "Emily, please let me go. I do not want to ruin your marriage." Jason angrily said to Ryan, "Stop this drama. I did not ask you to create all this." I became angry with Jason and said, "It is my fault for trusting you. I forgot that it is a woman's duty to spend her life with her husband and his family. She gives her best years to her in-laws. But a man does not have such generosity. You made big promises of love, Jason. You told me you would let my brother stay in your home. And now?" He replied, "You can see what he has been doing for days. He puts sleeping pills in our coffee, makes us drink it, and then trashes the house. Have you ever asked him what problem he has when you are with me?" I looked at Jason with regret and asked, "What proof do you have that Ryan does this? Maybe you do all this to have an excuse to throw Ryan out of the house." He looked at me angrily and said, "I did not do anything like that. But of course, you will believe your brother. Not me. Think whatever you want. He can go wherever he wants. But you are my wife, so you will stay in my house." I declared, "I do not want to live in a relationship that forces me to abandon my brother." He studied me carefully, perhaps not expecting such a response. He said, "Fine, go, leave. I will not beg you, nor will I try to convince you. I fell in love with the wrong woman, one who has no attachment to me. Go, Emily. Go live your life with him." He said this angrily. I left with Ryan. I rented an apartment, quit my job at Jason's company, and found work elsewhere. Ryan was very happy. I kept myself busy, trying not to think about Jason. But some things are beyond our control. One being my love for Jason. Ryan still loved me deeply. Time passed, and he eventually became employable. He told me I no longer needed to work. I suggested Ryan should get married. He said, "First you should remarry, sister." I told him I had no such desire now. Besides, I am still legally married to Jason, but who knows where he is now? You are here, Ryan. You will get married, have children. Then I will be happy too. After listening to me, he seemed upset. Then he sat beside me and said, "I do not want to get married. That woman will separate me from you." I replied, "Why would she separate us? Sibling relationships never break." He said, "Maybe I do not have your courage, Emily. Maybe someday I will face the same choice you did, but you chose me." I said, "It is not necessary that your wife would be like Jason." Ryan eventually married one of his co-workers, Megan, but she could not tolerate me. She wanted Ryan completely to herself. In her company, Ryan began to feel differently about my presence. I became like an unwanted object in a corner. He did not check on me for days. The couple was happy together. Once I told him, "Ryan, you have forgotten me." He replied, "Megan wants my time." I said, "I do not demand your time." Then he admitted, "I made a terrible mistake. I did not treat you well." Confused, I asked, "What do you mean?" He explained, "When you got married, Jason wanted your time. But I did not understand this. He did not dislike me. That is why I would create excuses to keep you away from him. Sometimes I would pretend to be scared. Sometimes I would put sleeping pills in the sugar. I would mess up the house. I did all this because I knew you loved me so much that you would believe me. That day, Jason was telling you the truth. He never said anything mean to me. He just asked, 'Why are you ruining your sister's marriage?' But I made a huge mistake. I did not understand then what Megan's presence has made me realize. Now forgive me, Emily, I loved you too much. That is why I became selfish." After hearing him, what could I say? How easily his love had ruined my life. Otherwise, I would have had a husband and children. I would have had my own happy home. He apologized for what he did in just 10 minutes and went back to his room. And me? I had given my entire life to loneliness. I began to cry. Who could I blame? A brother's love had once again tested a sister's devotion.